Damn it, gang sense.
Happy holidays and welcome to episode 7 of Yanking Chains, where we talk about everything endurance. I'm Matt Momont.
I'm Vince Matteo.
And I'm Maria Simone.
And one day I'm going to remember that.
In this episode, by listener request, we are going to be talking about our year in review. So, team, let's first start off. How were your holidays? Vince?
You mean, aren't they still going on?
When the millions of people listening to this podcast finally hear it, it'll be past.
Oh, it'll be next week. Oh, Happy New Year. We're already into the new year now. And the holidays were good. I haven't jumped on the scale since before Christmas. I was down at race weight. I anticipate being over race weight at this point. We killed an entire fruit tart. It was like this big round.
Fruit tart's bigger than your head.
What's that?
Hey, it's vegetarian.
Yeah. Fruit tart's bigger than your head. That's your holiday motto.
I'm a vegetarian until I'm not. So I've probably eaten the least amount of meat that I've eaten in an entire month. But then on Christmas we did our typical tradition of a blue cheese crusted filet mignon, and I couldn't find anything that wasn't as big as the fruit tart as far as fillets, and I was thinking, I don't eat a lot of meat now, so I'll eat half of this, and damn if I just didn't munch straight through it. It had to be it was at least 12 ounces.
Nice.
So
Maria, your holidays?
They were good. They're over, which is good.
You said you were. You were training. I heard you were training a lot.
Yeah. Well, I am 10 weeks out as of yesterday from the Florida Double, which is this year going to be at Lake Louisa in Florida. So I am. I'm in a little training hole. So I also ate a lot, but no meat. I'm still, I'm still hanging in there. Poor little chickers. But yeah, no, lots of swimming. Last week was a big swim week, which is good. It's fun. This week is a big bike week. It's hard to do all of it all at once because you need time for your life too at some point. So.
You have a life?
Barely, just barely. I have this podcast, and that's it. So I really need this to be a success. Otherwise, my life is a failure.
Yeah. Come on, everybody! Come on and listen. I swear.
She needs to eat.
We went over to family, and somebody asked us, "Well, do you have any regular friends?" And we were like, "No."
Meaning non-tri related.
Yeah, and they were like, do you take vacations? And we're like, yeah, we take lots of vacations. They're just usually butted up against a race.
Do you mean people go away without there being a race involved?
Yeah, it's
weird. You fly without a bike. What the heck?
Oh, that's weird.
What do you think? I got 12 weeks of vacation, so I got 4, and I got a race.
Yeah, that's weird. How about you, Matt? How was your holidays? Even though I know from talking, I'm very excited. Tell the world.
Gosh. Tell the world. Well, I swam yesterday for the first time in a week and a half.
Wow.
That's the big news. No, big news. I got engaged on Christmas Day.
Oh my God, I'm shocked. It's like I didn't know from somebody else that this was coming.
So, big news. Yes, for those of you worried if I was dropping out of the triathlon community, she's very supportive. So
that was my first question. I'm like, is she on board with this?
Yeah, does she understand? And yes, she does. She's very supportive.
Well, she was.
She was. Yeah, now maybe things.
Now your life is over.
Yeah, in the past 2 days, maybe now it's all done. Maybe this will be the last podcast. Hopefully not. I was thinking, if in the future she teaches yoga, so if we ever want to do our yoga for triathletes, she'd be a good one to throw up here and can get our zen on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was big news. I haven't, as I said, I swam for the first time in 2 weeks yesterday for about 20 minutes, and then I got a bloody nose, so I got out of the pool. Had no excuse to get back in the pool.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been pretty chill. I've been running a little bit here and there. I'm eating a lot. I've lost weight. I don't know how, but I'm under
Matt,
150.
You
oh
lost
my
it.
God, Scott and Keith,
Scott's gonna lose his mind.
they hate you, dude. They hate
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. This
For
is
those,
probably the worst I've eaten in a while, I'm
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what happens. I don't know where it goes. I'll be honest. So yeah, so I'm a hard gainer. My cousin says he's into bodybuilding right now. So I'm a hard gainer.
Hard gainer.
That's what yeah, exactly. That's what.
Mm.
All right. So
I think I know what it is. I think it was all of that anxiety from the big moment.
yeah,
You were burning calories like mad just in your brain.
that was very. I saw people who did that who posed with a heart rate monitor on, and I wanted to try it.
No, that would not be a smart move. I don't know a lot about women, but I'm just telling you that would not have been a smart move.
Hold on a second. I just want to check my heart. Oh man, I'm in zone 2. Jesus. Okay.
No, it's
Although
not.
I gotta say, I
That was
got
not
the
funny
9.
and cool.
I have the new 920, and I feel like I just wanted to like narrate my life. Like
Yeah.
I wear it all. I'm like the first time I wore it, I was mesmerized by the cadence and ground force screen. I was like, I'm gonna trip on my feet. I was like, whoa, oh my God, now I'm at that. This is cool. And I was running with the dog the first time I used it, and I'm like, Pace, you are totally messing up my metrics. Let's go.
Nice.
The only thing I don't like about the 920 is when you on the old one, when you would hit stop, it would have the numbers up on the screen. Now it goes to like this pause screen,
Yeah.
and I want to see the numbers.
Yeah.
And I got to figure out if there's a hack for that.
Is this a good place to start our? I call them superlatives, but do you guys have best Christmas? Did you guys get any presents from Santa that are triathlon related that you would like to share?
Yes.
Yes, I got so many. I got all the presents.
This is our
All
best
of them.
episode ever. Yes.
I got all the presents.
Did you get a present? Would you like to share?
So my present that I want to share is I bought. So this is outside of Christmas. I bought snowshoes based on a recommendation from my buddy Tom, and they are running snowshoes. So they actually have like this flexible base, and your heel stays locked in as opposed to lifting up. So they're supposed to be very specific for for running. And I got for Christmas I got this. It weighs nothing. It's like anti-weight. It's like Matt, and it's this Arc'teryx jacket, and it has like 800 fill down, but it's super light and it stuff's in this little tiny bag. But the thing, is super warm. I threw it on and I was walking around. I was like, damn, I'm getting hot in this thing. So that's going to be like my snowshoe running jacket.
Nice.
But you needed it this morning when you had to go crust the ice off your car.
Holy crap! I thought about wearing it, but actually went for the heavier coat. It's got like a big old hoodie and everything. It's like winter here. Oh yeah, that's right. It is winter here.
Yeah.
God.
Maria, you get anything?
We do not exchange gifts.
Oh, that's so good. I like that.
Yeah, I talked pretty much my
Tourism.
entire family into it. It's been probably 6 or 7 years now, and it is like a relief.
That's
And and John and I have like almost never given gifts because we just kind of buy whatever we want when we want it. We actually bought a camper this year back in September, so I'm gonna say that is like gifts forever and ever. Because that was pretty cool. Like one of the insert ones that go into a bed of a pickup truck. So that's our new like race vehicle. So yeah, so we don't really give gifts. And I talk like usually what my family and I do is we make gifts. So like I bake breads. My sister actually made soaps this year, so they were cool.
Nice.
That was probably one of the cooler things this year. They're all different scents. So yeah.
You use soap?
I just shower in the pool.
I do too, actually.
Chlorine's my soap. I don't know if you ever do.
Chlorine takes care of everything.
That sign that says "Please shower before entering the pool." It's like, is that a suggestion?
Oh, I do shower before I get in the pool. Although these mornings it's hard. It's so cold. You don't want to, but.
Yeah. So real quick, I follow
Matt,
Maria's.
you didn't say what you got.
Yeah, I follow Maria's we do kind of the Maria style Christmas,
Oh, good. Yeah.
which is
So,
relative. It's, so Jackie, see, I got this is my fiance now. Now I gotta use that term as many times as possible. Jackie, my fiance, uh, she made candles, scented beeswax candles, because we all learned that paraffin wax candles are poisonous and you're gonna kill everybody.
Holy crap!
I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but according to her and according to my fiance, they're true. That's true. And so she made beeswax scented candles, which was nice, and then also bought me the. I basically told this is what I was gonna get anyway, so she got them for me. But the shorts, when I crashed earlier this year, in the ER, they cut off my tri shorts. She bought me new tri shorts, which was nice.
Aww.
And then my dad gave me his Garmin watch that has a GPS. I think it's FR110.
Okay.
It's not as fancy as yours, but I got a hand-me-down Garmin watch, so that was exciting.
Very cool.
That's it. That's all.
Did your dad get a new Garmin for himself?
No, I traded him mine because he doesn't know how to use it. So
Oh, okay.
I bought it from him like 2 years ago. So basically, I bought myself a used watch at new price,
Okay.
and then didn't use it for 2 years.
Nice.
And now I got it finally.
Nice.
You should encourage him to buy other really complicated things that you
So, Vince, do you remember when you fitted me on the 5 different track speed concepts?
Yes, I know
And
one
most
of
of
them
them
were his, right?
Yeah.
So your dad does triathlon too, Matt?
My dad does, and my whole family does.
Oh my God, that is adorable.
Yeah, I mean, they're not nearly as into it as I am. But they do them. My mom used to be a D1 basketball player in college, and so she's very competitive, but is a little older.
How do we get your parents on the show and interview them? That's what I want to know.
They're here right now.
My God.
They would love to. My mom would die, to be honest. Like, she would be so excited. She would travel a lot harder than we do.
I want to have her on.
And they're both doctors, so they could talk about like medical things if you wanted.
Wow.
Really? This is a future show. This is happening. We're going to set it up. They are going to be on. We're going to interview them.
Okay, yeah. They'd be pretty cute. Yeah, they work together as
my God,
they do. They're both geriatric internal medicine physicians. So they could talk about like blood work or something.
Yeah.
But just heads up, they're not like very opinionated. There's going to be like, well, take 2 Tylenol and then like a Sprite and take a nap.
Sprite?
For everything. That's like for everything. So I think I had like a stroke on. I was feeling kind of numb. And well, take 2 Tylenol, sleep it off. It's like everything. I broke my arm. Well, take 2 Tylenol and a Sprite and take a nap.
And a Sprite. What I want to have them on so we can find out what the Sprite does.
The bubbly. Supposedly that cures everything.
All right. Yeah. Kind of like the Windex in My Big Fat Greek Wedding, like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably made out of the same stuff.
It probably is.
Oh man, I love it.
So that's that.
Okay.
All right. Do we want to move into our superlatives?
Let's go.
Paraffin is non-toxic according to the FDA. So if you trust the FDA, then
oh well, there's your problem there.
Yeah. See, they tell you to eat meat. It's unhealthy. Yeah, watch out.
They just caught a bunch of crap for the food pyramid, and they were. I saw something that said the FDA is practicing medicine without a license or something, and it basically has to do with them telling you what to eat, not knowing what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Sounds right.
We do need a nutritionist on here too. I think we had that talk. Somebody knows a nutritionist. I don't know. One of you mentioned that.
Yeah. Hey, any nutritionists listening, we're looking to interview you.
You have to be really opinionated, so you're a good character on our podcast.
That's right.
I want to. Can we need to get like a registered dietitian though, because if we're gonna give advice.
No, I want like a real person. Yeah, like somebody with qualification.
Well, just because I think there's that fine line where you can't like give advice. So we need a registered dietitian if you're one. Actually, I know one on Twitter. I wonder if I can ping her.
Does she play on Twitter? Does she play an RD on Twitter? Or?
Well, yeah, I guess you could put whatever you want in your tagline. I'm going to change mine. Can you impersonate a doctor? Is that illegal?
Exactly.
Overall badassery.
All right. So moving forward, that's supposedly moving forward is the thing. the word of the weekend.
Moving on.
Moving on. All right. Number one. So Maria has been kind enough to come up with a list of superlatives that we're supposed to come up with a list of each one. I think lots of lists. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
I don't know if we all have to have one for each of them, but I was just kind of brainstorming some endurance sport-related things to think about the year.
Yeah, definitely. I like the first one.
Okay. Yeah.
Is this in the document that I don't have?
That's correct.
Yeah, Vince, you just do this cold. We'll just tell you. I'll just throw it there. Or if someone wants to send him a link, real quick.
I'll send it to you, Vince. Vince works in tech. He can't figure out how to work Google Docs.
Is the internet broken?
It's obviously the internet's fault.
Oh, hang on. I think I have it.
What was of 2015 your favorite go-to workout?
Matt, since you like this one, you start.
Oh, shit, I was hoping you guys would come. I don't have a good one.
What? All of them, Matt, or you're fired.
anything Vince would put in there. No, I guess my favorite. I can't. This isn't a single workout, but the way I work out has changed a lot since Vince is my coach now, and so this is kind of a cop-out answer, but I really like not having to think about my workouts at all. I'm a huge decision fatigue guy. I believe in decision fatigue, and so I don't choose workouts at all anymore. I have very little. I mean, I'll give Vince my feedback, but I don't pick workouts, and I love that. I think that has made it much easier for me to relax and just enjoy the ride, and focus on doing the work instead of worrying about, is this hard enough? Is this not hard enough? Should I be going easier? So that's really helped. This year's been a huge change in when I used to be like self-coached, and I'm just always constantly stressed about what workout to do. I found one in like Triathlete magazine. Oh, I better try that. You know, like it was just very stressful. And you laugh, but this is why I don't offer professional coaching advice, because my self-coaching experience was pretty stressful. But I think that would be the way I worked out has changed a lot. That would be my favorite. Maria?
Hills. Always hills.
Hills.
It will always be the answer. I love hills. They're my favorite.
You mentioned that, I think in the previous episode you talked about mixing up hills too, doing like walking up and then running down hills.
Yeah, or just, generally a couple different ways to do hills, right? But I mean, one way that I like to do a lot, particularly when you know you're going to have a lot of downhill running, is, taking the uphill moderately steady to, just kind of, if you use like a 5-zone system, trying to keep that heart rate 3 or below going up, and then just kind of bombing the downhill. I also like doing that. I also like doing the fast downhill too for people that are trying to work on cadence. It's a cheat, right, to kind of help you work on a faster cadence. But I just kind of like that approach to hills. But I also like long, lung burning uphill hard stuff. That's fine too. I kind of like all approaches to hills, especially when they're inside trails. They're the best. That's when they're fun. But yeah, I love hill workouts. I like climbing hills on my bike. I think if I lived in a hilly area, I would probably like cycling a lot better. But where I live here, it's totally flat, so it's a time trial all the time. You're just sitting in Arrow and it's just a bunch of pine barrens. So I mean, it's pretty. Like I remember when I first started cycling, I was like, oh, this is nice, and now it's like, oh my God, my life for a hill. But yeah, always for me, it's hills. I love hills.
I'm going to start taking notes over here because I have some thoughts I would like to share.
Great.
I like that Maria's saying, I'd like to keep it below zone 3 when I'm on the hills going uphill. And I'm like, that's because you don't live in a place where there are real hills.
Yeah.
If I can keep it below Z5, the hills around here, I'm cool.
While I'm walking.
Something that you said that
I do travel to hills, Vince. So.
I know you do. I know you're going to Vermont in 3 weeks, aren't you?
Yeah. Yep. And if there's no snow, I'll be doing plenty of hill repeats there.
Wow, come on out here because I bet there's like 10 feet at least from the last couple of days.
Yeah, no, I don't want snow. Yeah.
So one thing that you said that isn't specifically related, but I heard this and I thought it was really interesting. If you want to know what it's like to run a marathon pace that's new to you, you find a section of road that's maybe got like a 1% down, and then you run it on that, because since you have a little bit of gravity working with you, it's a little easier. But your muscles, your muscles don't know what it's like to run that fast.
Yep.
And so you can condition them. So if you can find a couple 3 miles or whatever, and you run at that goal pace, that's pretty effective, because it's new. I mean, Matt was, you're probably hitting some paces that you hadn't seen all season, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so the more you can adjust to just hitting that pace, the better your body adapts to it. The hill thing, you stole my thunder. It's, to me, that just seems like night and day from last year to this year. Is I did so much vertical, and obviously you're getting that on the down, and on some of them, there were couple places I went this year where it's like 10 miles of downhill, like almost consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, oh, I love downhill running, but you're 5 miles into that downhill, and you're like, I'm really tired of downhill running right now,
Hurts so bad.
yeah, and it's crazy. You just you got to adapt to that, and you got to build the strength for it. And for something like Western States, they say that if you're not a downhiller, then you're just going to lose so much time. And I've been in that situation. I went into Miwok underprepared a couple years ago, and in the end of it, it's all downhill. But it's really steep, and I just wound up like walking down it, because I just had no strength in my legs, and I felt like I was just going to like take a header down, down the Dipsy Trail. So, this year, I feel like I just have so much more strength, and my legs aren't destroyed, and I just attribute it all to the extreme vertical.
Yep. Hills.
Best
Hills.
race, Maria.
Oh, I want to cheat on this one bad.
Well, why would you want to cheat?
Because I have two that are my...
You can take mine.
Okay.
You can take mine.
Take them both.
Take them both.
Oh, it's a tie, right?
Yeah, it is a tie. So...
You should go with Miss Columbia. Oh! It said it right here, Miss Columbia.
So I think the beginning of the season, my best race was the Florida Double. That was a really incredible experience. It was hard, and I won it, so that was fun. And then the other best race, of course, was Javelina. I think if I had to pick between the two, I'd give Javelina the edge, just because there was no bike. No, and just because, Javelina was really just an incredible experience, being out in the desert. I was out with some friends, and we were talking about, people I hadn't seen in a while, and they were like, so what's up with this 100-miler? What'd you do, And I said, it was just really incredible. And they were talking, how'd you run through the night? And I said, the night was one of the coolest parts of it. You're looking up, and there's all these stars, and there's this big orange moon, and there's coyotes. It was like a movie, except I was in it, and I remember just, so many of the moments. So I guess I'd have to give Javelina the edge now that I worked through this. But the Florida Double, it was really a good experience too. I'm looking forward to going back and doing it again. Nice.
Vince?
Javelina.
Yeah, you did pretty well on that one. That was a pretty solid race.
I don't know. There's very few races that I can like look to and say, man, that was like awesome sauce, and that's one of them right there. So I could actually call it done, but I'm not, because I still got. Well, according to you, I need to go sub 14.
Yes, we need to get you sub 14.
Yeah, you got to work on that, Vince. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be no problem to cut those 5 hours. I think you'll be fine. I think it'll be like no problem.
Yeah, I was gonna go for the 100 record, but I wanted to give it to Zach Bitter.
Yeah, he's worked so hard for it. So
Matt,
yeah.
I know you don't follow ultras as closely as we do, but this guy,
I saw that. That looked terrible.
He ran a 7:01 pace for 100 miles.
It's insane.
And on a track, right? It was on a track.
Yeah, but he alternates. So he alternates every 4 hours, and he did.
Only every 4 hours. Okay.
Yeah, so he did a total of 8 hours one way and then 4 hours the other way. But a 7:01 pace for 100 miles.
I know. It's crazy.
It is. It's amazing.
That's pretty fast.
It
He
is.
was spent because I think the last time he went for like the distance record, and I think I can't remember exactly because I just kind of glanced through the rest of the story. I think it was he thought he was gonna like stop for a second or whatever, but he like completely seized up and was like, "I'm done."
Oh man.
Yeah, he was actually gonna start again, but he said he couldn't. He just like completely cramped up and he was done.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh,
Oof.
wow. I'm not jealous of that.
No, not at all. Because that just seems like, especially after 100 miles, your legs are pretty trashed.
Yeah. So my best race of the year, well, I didn't win any like Maria, maybe someday, and I didn't run 100 miles. I did come back from a big crash earlier this year. It took me out for a while, so I think my redemption race. I really would highly recommend this race. There is who puts it on, Vince? It's the Tahoe one, the Donner Lake Tri.
I don't
It's a
know who
half.
put that on.
It's a half Ironman. It's not officially half. It's a half Ironman distance, half Iron distance. But really good race.
Sick race.
And I came back from a downhill descent crash and had a huge downhill descent on the bike, and that was absolutely terrifying. And that was probably the hardest challenge I faced all year was surviving that downhill, believe it or not. And got me comfortable on the bike again. So that was really exciting.
That's huge, Matt. That's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah.
It's really, it's so hard to come back from a crash, especially when you go back and you're recreating the scene again, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of that playing in your head.
So for those who don't know, Donner Lake is Donner Lake is at the bottom of a giant ski hill.
The bottom at 6,000 feet, so it's not exactly the bottom.
Yeah.
It's not exactly sea level.
You're right. It's but the point being is like the top of it is the top of a ski ski resort basically, or several of them actually. And and the road down is, what is it? It's like 2 miles maybe or something, but it's super technical.
Yeah, it's very.
I mean, the turns are crazy tight and it's crazy steep and it's super fast, and I've ridden down it and I was like, I'm never doing this race. I would not descend that. I would be all over my brakes. It is butt puckering scary, and to come off of a descent crash and then to jump onto that, I just like that's like more man than I am.
Yeah. So
as
the
John likes to say, butt pucker factor number 10. You know.
Oh yeah, it is.
I was puckering, yes. There was some puckering happening. I can almost guarantee that.
I would lose a lot of time going down that hill if I
lost a lot of time going down the hill, but it was a fun race. It's nice and well run, small, very classic. Like the race director races the race sort of thing. Like
nice.
Or does like the Olympic the day. I mean, it's like very, you could meet everybody in the race if you wanted to. If you were slightly more social than me,
that's
you could
awesome.
know everyone's name.
I like those kinds of races. It seems like they're fewer and further between now.
Yeah, that's cool. Next, best gear purchase in 2015.
You go, Matt.
So I've gone through. I'm on my third Trek Speed concept.
Trek loves you. Let's do sponsored by Trek.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm from Wisconsin, so I'm a little loyal. Trek is sponsored by Matt. One of these days I'm gonna get a free bike on. I told somebody like I'm pretty cheap, so I told somebody I really don't want to buy like a nice bike until somebody helps pay for it. I don't want to buy full price. So I haven't paid full price for any of these yet.
Okay,
I'm still not sponsored by Trek. Maybe someday. If they're listening, all those Trek executives.
Yes.
I'm from Wisconsin, so that's got to count for something.
Yes.
But I used my dad's. Well, I used my dad's 7 Series, and then I got a 9 Series, an older 9 Series, which I crashed right away. I got that used, and I had a cork on it, so I basically made that bike worthless because I crashed it, and then I broke the cork on it. So in the crash, so I have that bike's worth $10 now, which is kind of unsafe to ride. So that's sitting in my garage. I'm not sure what to do with that.
Does it have parts? Because we can turn it into a single speed.
But the problem is I broke the most expensive part on it, the cork. So the rest of the bike is in okay shape.
Turn it into like a table or something.
There we go. Actually, I bet you know what my fiance would love that as an Art Deco piece in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Or you just hang that on the wall.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah. And then I finally got a new 7 Series, 2014 7 Series. It got that it was used, but the guy had it for like a month and tore his ACL. So I got that with I got that pretty steeply discounted, which I absolutely love, and can highly recommend. The Speed Concept is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of machinery.
Nice. I like how you're going for the advertising. I like it.
No, I mean seriously. I'm an engineer. Like this is what I do, and you can really tell they got the second one a lot. It's a lot easier to work on than the first one. The first one is a pain in the ass.
Okay.
Especially the 9 Series. This new 7 Series is very, very nice to work on and very well made. It looks like, when you find parts on your bike and you're like, why did they're just like they put this little shim here and you're like, ooh, ugly. That's insane. I have hard shirt, exactly. I should be wearing a truck shirt. But this, like the 7 Series, just all fits together, and it's like everything has a purpose, and it's very well made, well designed. I like it a lot.
Cool.
That's mine. Maria?
Then I really love the 920. I'm glad I bought it. Yeah.
Isn't it huge? Isn't that one of the big, like, fat ones?
No, it's actually smaller than the 910. Okay. It's got a slimmer profile than the 910. I like it. I enjoy it. I like it a lot. I like it. Yep.
Maria, sponsored by Garmin.
I have a love-hate relationship with Garmin. I do like the 920, but I had some issues with mine, and they replaced it. So we'll see if I can get a full battery life out of one.
Oh, you had trouble with the battery.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that there was something because they kept trying to take it away from me. And I said, well, no, you said that, this thing should get 24 hours out of it, and I've disabled everything. In fact, I don't even use the Wi-Fi function to transfer. I cradle it still.
Right.
But I was getting, I think the lowest I got was 11 hours out of a full battery, and the best I've gotten out of it was 18. So they took it away from me and gave me a new one, and I have yet to test it for any length of time. But I do like it a lot.
Yeah. I think the upgrade from the 310 to the 910 was not that big of a deal for me. Yeah. I was like, meh, it's really just, now I could do my pool swims, like, whatever. But I think the upgrade from the 910 to the 920 was worth it for me.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah.
I thought so. And the metrics thing's interesting, like, your new VO2 max or whatever, which I think is funny. If you really want to feel proud, reset it back to factory, and then you get new VO2 max and new miles and new everything all over again. It's very exciting.
Nice.
Do you recommend these fancy watches? I've never been a big watch. Do you recommend having one of these? Like, would you suggest this $400 investment worth it?
Well, I guess it depends upon what you got. Like, I had a 310 for a long time, and I still think the 310 for the basics, that's a great watch.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But like she said, a lot of females, they have small wrists, and so you've got this. I mean, you're like Flava Flav with the clock on your wrist.
It's huge.
And but if you don't have a 310 and you're looking for an entry, then yeah, probably it's got all the functionality you want. But yeah, I bought the one with the fancy heart rate strap, so it was like $499. It's like, whoa.
I got mine on sale. I got the whole with the fancy heart rate strap. It was like $325.
I got mine when it first came out.
Yeah, it was a special. Yeah, when it first came out, I was like, whoa, that's expensive. But they were running a special like around Thanksgiving. I guess it was like their Black Friday thing or whatever.
Nice.
So I jumped on.
But it's only a year old, so
yeah.
And I think somebody was saying that they're coming out with a new one, and they thought maybe they were coming out this season, but they're not. I think it's like early spring or something. So and I have a feeling that it's going to be the same kind of upgrade from the 310 to the 910, where they make it a little thinner, and they probably they pretend like the battery's going to last longer. I'm sorry, Carmen, I'm bitter about the battery. I'm not going to let it go.
Is this your best purchase? Did you get this year? Was this your
me? No, I didn't.
What's your best purchase?
Whatever the most recent one is, which is a Vossa trainer, and
yeah, you talked.
I did. It's actually it's back there if you can see it. Can you see the Vossa trainer?
Are you gonna demo it for us? Are you gonna? We should do an episode of Vince swimming.
Yeah, we're gonna do. I think that it is. It is a very expensive tool, but I've already used it once to show somebody, where the entry is and how to pull correctly, and it is very effective for that.
Mhm.
Because you immediately know where your strength is because you're not in the water and you don't have that, you don't have the anti-gravity. You're on this thing and it's inverted, so you're really like pulling against the force of this thing, and it shows you where your strength is. I was on it. I kind of played around with it. I was trying to figure out like, oh, do I want to do it this way or this way, or you can actually do both arms at the same time. And I probably was on it maybe 10 minutes consistently, and my arms were sore for a few days. I was like, wow, that's a hell of a workout.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Get your heart rate up when you're using it, Vince, or is it more just like a strength kind of thing?
I think it's more of a strength thing. I didn't really notice
Okay.
because and maybe because I'm not. It's not the one with the ergo. There's one with an ergometer in it.
Yeah.
And that one lies flat. And I think on that one you can really crank because the thing is kind of pulling you.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I got this one is it actually has more flexibility. So you can, with the ergo, it's fixed. And with this one, you can elevate it, and I bought the footboard with it, so you can do a bunch of leg work and some other exercises with it. So to me, it has a lot more use.
Very cool.
And yeah, but you can do like single leg squats and things like that. And, me, I'm like trying not to go to the gym. So if I can have something like that where I can be swimming without being in the water, because you know how much I love the water. Especially when it's 28 degrees out.
How do you shower?
With like 110 degree water. When you go to the pool and you're like, oh my god, it's hot, it's 81 degrees, I'm like, yeah.
Oh my god, seriously?
I hate that.
No,
I hate it when
actually,
it's like that.
Oh, it's like
I do
so
too. I do
urine.
too. I like it from the sense of like getting in the water when the air is cold, but I can't swim ever in anything that's probably above 80 degrees.
No, it's
Because
like suffocating.
I feel like I'm sweating.
Yeah.
It's like suffocating.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Wow.
Next, we're going through pounding through our list. Do you
Yeah,
dock
we're
open,
pounding.
Vince?
because I have another one too. I am that guy
Alright.
that has like 8,000 hydration packs.
You are.
I was laughing at that video that I was like, oh my god, that dude's got. Oh, that's me. And Christine's like, which I want to buy a hydration pack. Which one should I get? So I bought this coat rack, and I have it hanging in my bathroom on this wall that like nobody can see, and it has like all of my hydration packs on it. And so I was like, go to the bathroom and pick one. It's like,
I'm going to pull the scrounge move. Vince, when you want to throw stuff away, let me know. I'll be.
yeah.
I'll run with open arms.
That's funny.
Nice.
Although my bikes won't fit you because we're midgets over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you tall, Matt? How tall are you?
6'1".
Oh my god, yeah, you are tall. Okay.
Bit of a little lanky guy.
He's
I'd have
6'1" and he weighs like 145 pounds.
No, 150. Vince, come on.
Then you've gained weight.
Best adventure, Vince.
Oh, this is easy.
Oh.
So easy.
Okay.
Well, since Maria stole mine earlier, I get to steal hers. Grand Canyon, rim to rim to rim.
So easy.
So,
I put it in there because I just wanted to talk about it.
Oh my god, that was. There is. It's fun. Like I like racing Hawaii because you know all these people from all the years of racing, and you go to Hawaii, and it's kind of like everybody has this celebration. You meet up with all your friends, and Hawaii is just awesome. But doing something like rim to rim to rim, you're really, you're a group as opposed to an individual. And so I think there's like a bigger bond that gets created. And to me, that's one of the coolest things I've ever done. I can't imagine like a race exceeding that. That was like pure awesomeness.
It's like a team sport.
No. But it's just, it's the combination of like the Grand Canyon is just amazing. We were the day before we were standing on the rim. We're like, wow, this is so awesome. And then you don't realize how awesome it is until you go
Oh,
down, and then you go across, and then you go up, and then you come down, and you go across, and you go up. And like the word of the day wasn't like wow. It
wow.
was like every time we like hit something, wow.
Oh, it was just like every time the sun moved or you turned a corner, it just looked completely different. The same exact spot could look completely different depending on where you were. It was unbelievable, and I would echo what Vince said. There's just a kind of bonding that happens. It's very tribal almost, it's or communal or whatever word we want to use. It was really, really so worth it. Anyone who has never been to the Grand Canyon at all should immediately go. And
Yeah,
if you should be like, not be like, that's probably not that big of a deal. No, it's definitely a big deal. And if you go, you need to plan to go into it, because there's a total, like Vince said, looking out over it, you're like, wow, that's freaking cool. And then you get into it, and it just gets even cooler. And not necessarily, you don't have to do rim to rim to rim, but even if you just hiked down to the river and back, you would get a good feel for what goes on in there. It's just unbelievable.
yeah. So we were standing up on the south rim, and we were looking down, and you could see like this shelf, and it kind of dropped off, and it just looked forever. And
Yeah.
then we were like down there, we're like we're at that spot, and I mean,
Yeah.
it took us what, an hour to get there or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
it is far. It's just amazing, and like she said, it's cheap too. It's like $20 to get in.
Mhm.
For how cheap it is to get there and stay there and everything else, it's completely something that should be like on the top of your bucket list.
Yeah, you should go. Just go.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
better
definitely
than
do that.
it's better than Disney World. I mean, don't take your kids to Disney World. Take your kids
There's
to like the
there's a
nature's.
cattail.
I know. Lily's photo bomb today is just her tail. Just her tail. Yep. That's all. That's all we got. That looks weird, actually.
It's really weird. It looks a little odd, yeah.
Yeah, for those of you listening who never watched this, you should go back and rewatch all the episodes, because my cat makes a little appearance every time. So
Nice.
this time, just her tail. Just the tail.
Funniest
Wait, you give an adventure, Matt?
adventure. I don't have a good adventure.
Damn it.
I'm thinking I used to be more adventurous.
Yeah.
I don't
But
have
then
a
you
really
got
good.
married.
I don't know. It's cool.
Getting engaged.
Getting engaged is pretty cool. Yeah, that was pretty fun. That's pretty exciting. Yeah, that'd be mine. I think one thing I'd like to do is I used to backpack a lot more, and a lot of my vacation time is eating up visiting family now that I live on the other side of the U.S. So I really haven't had a lot of time to travel. I mean, I moved. I guess I moved a lot. I bought a house this year. I guess that's an adventure. I've done a lot of the adult things.
I know. I was gonna say, Matt is so grown up. I can't wait till I am too.
Yeah, I'm so grown. Yeah, I bought a house this year. I got engaged. It's so. This year was not a Matt goes backpacking year.
All right.
One of the best ones in my history that I'd recommend is and for the East Coasters, I used to live in Vermont, and I backpacked a 3-day. I went solo one weekend, long weekend, and I did the White Mountains over by New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just so. If you live out west and you've never been to the East Coast mountains or the Appalachian Mountains, that is just so different. They're just it's like straight up rocky, craggy cliffs, and it's just so beautiful. And that was probably one of my best. I like being alone. That was a really good like silent weekend retreat for me, I guess. So that was like 2-3 years. It was like 3 years ago when I lived in Vermont, 3-4 years. But I can highly recommend that for East Coasters. I'd like to do more of that now. All my vacation time is spent going to Wisconsin.
Well,
That's an adventure.
That's an adventure, right?
Two comments on that. One, if you, I discovered that National Geographic makes these very detailed maps, and they do them of all the really cool places, and they have one of the White Mountains, so I know it must be a really cool place.
It's very cool. It's just so different than the mountains we have out west. It's like, I don't know, maybe Maria can attest to that, but it's very cool. They're very cool.
They are cool. They're tricky. I think, yeah, they're tricky.
Nice.
Craggy, I think was the word you used. I think that's the good.
Yeah. We should do
Like-
an episode of best rides in locations. I don't know. I guess I've been to lots of different states, and I could throw some best rides out there, like bike rides or runs. I don't people want.
Yeah, I'm not good for that one.
You're
I'll
not
listen
good for-
to you guys.
yeah.
Yeah, best rides.
Because bicycling, I think Cycling Magazine put out their top 10 rides or top 10 hills, and I was like, oh, I've done like 3 of those. So, oh, Mount Diablo's on there, Vince, and
Yeah.
App Gap up in Vermont's on there. So I bet you if you guys, John's probably ridden that up in Vermont. I don't know, but
Why hasn't Maria?
The Gap
You
ride?
Texas?
Yeah.
The Gap, the Gap ride.
Yeah.
We've done some. We haven't done all the gaps in Vermont, but we've done a few of them.
They're great. That's good to see some leg strength.
Yeah. John did. Yeah, we did one going into Coeur d'Alene. We did Middlebury and Brandon Gap, but we did them in the opposite direction that most people do them.
Yep.
We got to the top. We were getting to the top of Brandon Gap. It was the second one, and it just like you know how they do it at the very top. They just pitch up right at the top.
Like,
and I'm like,
yeah,
oh my god! I'm like standing. I never stand and climb, like never.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm gonna stand or I'm gonna boop, fall over.
Yeah.
And John's like literally doing U-turns around me, like, come on, Maria, you can do it. I go, shut up, don't talk to me, just shut the fuck up, just shut up.
Well, we had.
Wait, I
was
think
the
we got
first
number 7 on our list with that comment.
Yeah, for sure. But it was funny. He always tells that story. I was like, and it was only like 45 seconds, but it was like, just leave me alone. I'm just trying to stay upright and get to the top. We got to the top.
Very steep.
Yeah, that was definitely
Very
probably.
steep.
It was a fun ride. That ride I liked though. Going back to number 1, go to workout. I mean, I liked it. I like cycling hills for sure.
All right, funniest training, racing, but non-poo related story.
This is from
That's
Scott.
tough.
He wanted a non-poo related story, so I'm out on this one, obviously.
I was like, man, funniest.
Unlike Maria, I haven't told mine, but it's going to remain a secret because Scott doesn't want to know about it.
I was gonna say one like me pooing by the side of the road and someone jogging by. That's usually how my long runs go.
Matt, if you're going to the bathroom at the side of the road, you can be an ultra runner. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I feel like
The Iron Horse Trail, man. There's some spots I've marked. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you can't hold it.
yeah.
Let's see. Favorite non-poo related funny stories.
Maybe I think for me, maybe being on the scooter in Vegas the day after Grand Canyon, because I couldn't walk around, or the Deuce, driving the Deuce.
Yeah, the Deuce, the bus.
But that wasn't really training or racing. That was post. So.
That's post racing. That's related.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, just being down on Fremont Street was probably the funniest.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got my funny story. So I am a casual drinker, and when we were partying in Vegas, I was partying pretty hard, and John kept buying me these wines in a plastic glass with a foil peel-off lid. I can tell you that's a guaranteed way to get a hangover.
Oh my
And
god.
I don't know how many of these things he had put into me because he kept going like to this pharmacy and buying them.
Like
and
you
coming
do.
back, and then the last one, he was over by this trash can, and there was this homeless guy over there, and John was talking to him, and then he came back and he had another one of those wine things with the foil top, and he was like, hey, this homeless guy gave this to you. I was like, I don't want that. And he's like, dude, I just bought it for you. It's like, oh, okay, go.
Oh, that's funny.
So if being drunk is funny, then that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, triathletes don't get drunk enough. I actually had a drink. I actually got drunk for the first time in a while, and it hurt, man. I'm not built for this sort of drinking thing.
Yeah, I don't like to be drunk. I don't like to be drunk. I don't like to be drunk at all. I mean, I don't
that
mind,
part. It's the after effects.
Yeah, I don't mind like a drink or two, like in that, like a little bit, but I don't like that drunkenness. I don't like it.
I don't like it. I mean, at this point in my life, I wanna get up at my normal get up time, and I want to be moving. And if
I want to train and get my stuff done.
I'm impacted by the night before, then that was too much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Worst thing that happened to you in training this year? I'm gonna go first. I crashed on my bike.
Yeah, you win. You totally
And
win.
broke my collarbone and my scapula. Right.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
scapula in the back, and then have road. I still have road rash. I still that road rash is never gonna. You know when who said I think Scott said I should be an underwear model? No, I got scars, baby. I had scars for days down my right side. So I'm a marked
Isn't that
man.
from saving the puppies in the burning building, though?
That was from also in my underwear. This is why you don't be an underwear model full time, is because you run into burning buildings in your underwear.
No protective gear.
No protective gear. So I'm well scarred on that right side.
Yeah.
But after that, healing up kind of well. I gotta say, a good purchase for 2015. Vitamin E cream, really thick vitamin E cream, does help scars heal.
Oh, okay, good.
So if you want to be in the hippy stuff, 1,000% of your daily dose of vitamin E supposedly makes scars go away. But
All right.
I'm still working on that, so we'll see.
You bounced back from the crash really quick. I was amazed.
Yeah, that's impressive, dude. I didn't realize that all that happened to you.
That was on Valentine's Day. I went out for a training ride, then I was going to go ride with Jackie afterwards. My fiance.
All right, I think we're up to like 7, so that's good. You're doing good.
This is for her.
Fiance count number 7. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Yeah, and then went down pretty hard around a turn. I'm not even sure why. I'm pretty cautious usually. I don't really race in training. There's no reason, I'm down descents aren't. You don't get any fitness out of descents.
You don't want to get that Strava segment?
Yeah, exactly. So I just ate it. I still haven't ridden that. Maybe this year I might try to go back and I don't know, maybe face the turn. But yeah, I went down pretty hard.
That was in Sonoma?
That was like right outside Sonoma. Yeah.
There's, I used to live right over there, and I would ride over there a lot, and coming down from like the Pleasanton Ridge Road foothill.
Yeah, that's where it was.
Yeah, coming through there, there's gravel that comes off the hill that gets on the road, especially like by the railroad tracks there.
Yep, right before the railroad.
That corner right before it, I've bombed down there and been like, oh crap, there's stuff all over the road.
Yeah, that's where it happened.
Yeah,
I honestly don't even know how it happened, but yeah. So that was my worst thing that happened in training. But I don't know. I got a lot of mental strength from that. I think that kind of became less invincible. I used to think of I never really thought of myself as that's the first broken bone I've had. So
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't play contact sports. Look at me.
Neither did I, but I've had lots of broken bones.
So you got to stop running into buildings.
Yeah. Burning buildings.
Burning buildings. Saving
Yeah,
puppies.
I have broken bones, and Matt has lots of burns from saving puppies and burning buildings, and he wants you to believe that he crashed his bicycle, but really what happened was he fell out of a tree because there was a kitten up in there,
Yes.
and the branches were too small, and then they just gave out. Even though Matt weighs very little, even though he eats a lot. The branches
It was all the
were too
food he had
thin.
shoved
really
in his
wanted
pocket.
that kitten. He wanted to save that kitten. Now, fortunately, when the tree branch broke, Matt caught the kitten and he flipped over onto his back.
Yeah.
And he saved the kitten, but he broke his bones. And that's really
right.
the story.
Yeah, the kitten was fine. The kitten walked away and just kind of
So that kitten, man, that's
and just kind of ignored me.
yeah, like kittens do.
Kind of
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
man.
You guys,
That's the
anything
worst thing.
worst thing for you guys?
I think that FTP test I did 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that's right,
probably
you're
the worst thing. That's probably the worst thing that happened to me in training this year.
You really hate those. Those are some. That's a challenge for you.
I do not, and Vince knows this. I do not like things that bring me at the red line. I do not like it. Sam, I am. I do not. I've been trying though. I've been the last couple of weeks. I've been really forcing myself to insert some of this upper end stuff. And I will say, it each time it gets a little bit less offensive to me. But I don't. It's not my preference. That's hence the doubles and the 100-milers. All that kind of stuff.
How slow can I go?
Can I be the fastest of the slow people? Can I do that?
I can walk this and call it a race.
If my and I'm the same way. If I can get my pain to like slowly come up, over time, I can deal with that. But this stuff, no, not like.
Yeah, I am really good at like the boiling frog approach. You know, like if you start me off here and you just like kind of raise, like Vince is saying, raise it real slow, I can actually push that end fine. It's just if you go that hard recover, oh God, it's just like misery.
Yeah.
But that's the bike I have on tap for myself today, so maybe that'll be the worst thing that happened to me in training this year. I don't know.
I know when I'm like dragging my feet to do a workout that's the one that it probably is the best for me, but the one that I like the least.
That's why I'm trying to force myself to do it, because I remember even Vince, you know, when you were giving me workouts, anytime I used to call it, you had an all-out tick. Like, was that like you got this tick going on with your workouts? But I mean, I would drag my feet and I would be like, oh, I don't want to do it, and then it's over. Those are some of the workouts though where you feel like really good. It's like an hour, you're done, and you feel super energized. So I mean, it's good to do them, especially now that we're older. Not you, Matt, but Vince and I.
Yeah.
they say that.
I don't know. I'm kidding there. I'm kidding there.
Yeah, I just read something, the Joe Frill's Fast at 50 or Fast Over 50 or whatever that book is called. He was talking about how us older folks need to work different areas because we lose it quickly and it's harder to get back.
Yep.
And I was wondering if I need to well, I've already been talking about working my top end, and even though I have a fear of it.
Yeah.
My worst thing that happened this season, after all of the crazy technical stuff that I've run, I was on a completely flat trail. It might as well have been paved, and something jumped out of the ground and grabbed my foot, and I took a header and I cracked my ribs.
Oh, man.
I do not know, and I mean, I wish there was video because it would have been glorious. I never saw it coming. And by the time I realized what had happened, I was impacting the ground with my rib cage, and I was probably landing like this, so I was completely exposed, and I smashed the shit out of the ground. So that was my epic fail.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that sucks. I remember that. No
Yeah, you guys play hard. Oof.
That was my third time. That's the third time I've cracked my ribs. Third time. Do you know that does not get old? Oh yeah, it does.
Totally.
All right, we got about 5 minutes left, so
Right.
you want to crank through some of these? There's
Yeah, this one's easy.
top used cuss word, Maria. Well,
Fuck and bitches. Fuck and
Yeah.
bitches, probably.
I'd say-
It's gotta be.
I was going to say Vince for that one, and then Vince. Did you want to say Matt? I don't know what's.
Sorry, are we talking about a particular swear word or one
Yes.
we're directing it towards? The person we're directing it towards.
Maybe both. I don't know.
Nobody in this group.
Nobody I care to talk about.
All right. What would you redo if you could, Maria?
You know, I think, did I put this question in? I don't know if I would redo anything.
No regrets. That's it.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm all right with this year. If you asked me this at the end of 2014, I had a few. But no, I think I'm all right with this year. I think I'm all right.
Who's the teeny bopper that sings "What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger"?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson.
Is that who that is?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it. I saw her at a free concert in Golden Gate Park this year. I
Wow.
don't think she's a teeny popper anymore. She's
No.
a kid. Yeah, I think she's more of a mother.
Vince, your
Mother
age is
figure.
showing. Teeny bopper.
If I could have fathered her, she's a teeny bopper.
Yeah, it's true. You could. I think, yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's well within my fathering range.
I think
I'm
so.
with Maria. I wouldn't redo anything. I can't. Yeah, maybe the crash, but I think that was a good learning experience. It sucked, man. Don't crash. That stuff hurts, man. That real hurts bad, but you learn a lot.
And that's the thing, right? Like, there's things that you do that maybe didn't work out the way you wanted, but
Yeah.
you do that, and then you learn from that. So you do get the redo the next time, you know?
Yep. Yeah. I don't think this was I don't regret anything this year.
Yeah.
Vince, did we skip you?
No. I said that was my Kelly Clarkson thing.
Oh, Kelly Clarkson.
I think it's always bitter to have a race that goes south, but I just look at that as, that's another puzzle, and I
Yeah.
need to solve it. And I threw my name in the hat for Tahoe Rim because I'm going back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. There
And
you go.
that would be my worst race of the year, but I'm like completely cool with it. I'm excited to go back,
Yeah.
and the lottery draws on Friday, I believe. I got the note, so yeah, I'm ready to go
Ooh,
back.
good luck.
So when I go out on that trail again for the training run, I will. And it's funny because that's where I cracked my ribs.
Mhm.
I was on the training run, and during the race, I was going back through that section, and I was like looking. I'm like, where did I fall? This is about where it happened. And for the life of me, I could not.
And then he runs straight into a tree while he's looking at the ground.
And by the way, what grabbed your foot? A cow?
Oh, my
For those of you listening,
goodness.
Vince is very afraid of the dangerous cows.
I am.
They charge you.
Yeah,
They
we
do
ran. Vince
more
and I
cows.
walked.
Cows kill more people than great white sharks.
It's truth. It's actually a true thing.
It is.
Especially when you eat them, they kill you.
Yeah. Eat more chicken. Top breakthrough moment.
Javelina.
Yeah, ditto that. Ditto that.
All came together. Hard
So,
What's that?
I was going with mine.
Oh, sorry. Go.
I did not do javelina. I ran a lot shorter distance. Still marathon. Getting the marathon. Always end of year marathons I like. And this was ran sub-7 for most of it until the end. Then blew up.
Boom.
But for most of it, that was a breakthrough moment. Running fast. So that was good. Most important lesson learned, Vince.
Most important lesson learned. I think it's the one that I'm always harping on, which is be honest with yourself about the race. Because I think we tend to always look for excuses for why things went wrong, and I think if you can kind of boil that away and get to really what happened, maybe you screwed up, and that's me. Even still, I look for excuses for what went wrong, but truthfully, a lot of the things that go wrong with my races is that I'm trying to win, and sometimes I can't, and I try anyway. And then it goes horribly wrong.
You just summarized labor pains for me. That's totally what happened there.
And that's not to say that sometimes that there aren't other things that go wrong, but for me specifically, I tend to go looking for excuses because my pride gets in the way. That stinking dude was pride. Pulp Fiction. And if I can, get past that and get to what I did that went wrong specifically, then I can fix that problem and I can go back and I can try to win better. Be more better.
Maria?
Next.
Mine's kind of corny, but it's true. I think I learned. I think I've always known this, but I think the most important relearning kind of thing is that I am pretty lucky to be able to do the shit that I do. Just both financially, because obviously there is a financial investment with all of this kind of stuff, but also just physically being able to do so many of these things. The 100-miler in particular really brought that lesson home for me, just this idea of gratefulness and just being in the moment you're in. This year kind of really re-emphasized that for me. You have to be about the process, and you're lucky to be in the process, and to be grateful that you're in that moment. Like Vince is saying, sometimes you can get so focused on the winning or the outcome that you screw it up, because you're so on it instead of just here I am, and Javelina was just this big long lesson of I am so effing lucky to be here right now. I don't know why I edited that word now. What's
Yeah.
all of a sudden I'm PG. But yeah, it was just such a great experience.
There's sorry, man. I know you're going to talk, but I wanted to interject real quick. So one time I was looking at the number of years that Kona has run, and then I thought about the number of people that they've had that have started, and then figured, okay, well, there's an X percentage of that are people that are repeat offenders, and it was okay, there's I can't remember what the number was, but let's say it was like there's 70,000 people that have been to Kona, and then think about like the number of people that have done like Ironman, or the number of people that have done hundreds. We are such a very, very small percentage of people, and you think about the things that you get to see, and like running through the desert, running Grand Canyon, or running an Ironman. The experiences that you get out of that is a very, very small percentage of the population. I think that's very cool. We are very fortunate.
Yeah, and it's extraordinary in the sense, like, I think that word is so overused, right? Extraordinary, but it really is. It is an extraordinary experience to be out there, and you have to just really, you have to be in it, because it's such a gift. That's
if
my
you can
lesson.
if you can separate out the goals, and you can look at what you're doing and appreciate that, I think you have a better race. And I like doing it, and because now I'm like a recreational Ironman athlete. I like it, and I mean, even though I'm like, oh, that time sucked or whatever, but I have a good time doing it, and I know there are a few people that get to experience that. It's very raw, and we don't get that. It is a very raw experience.
Yep.
I think I'm going to second everything you guys say, because that's why. No, but that's why I do this. But I also, one big thing I learned is maybe not what I learned, but what I tried really hard to overcome is stop comparing myself to others, and putting myself in some box or some like I'm 27, I should be this good now. Like everyone's different, and it's more about the journey, because long term I'd like, when I'm your age, I'd like to still be doing this and having as much fun. Maybe this podcast will still be around. Who knows? We'll be doing like holograms.
Hopefully, I'm still around when you're at my age. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I think this is I think I love the endurance lifestyle, whether it's Ironman or whatever. I think it's a very stoic way of living, and I really like that. It is selfish at times, but I think I've learned a lot this year to really appreciate the journey between the accident, the crash, and the not the results I was hoping for in races, or thinking it could make it. You realize a lot. It's really about having fun, and if you're not having fun, you shouldn't be doing it. So
nope.
I still really, really love even jogging home a marathon, with a cramp and can't even barely walk. You're like, oh, this is still a pretty fun day. It could be worse. So I've really learned to. You got to just love the journey, because it's a long one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no quick fix. Whenever you read Triathlete magazine, like 5 ways to cut 2 hours off your Ironman time.
It's a lot of work. That's the 5 ways.
A lot of work.
Do a lot of work, then do more work, then do some more work.
1 through 4 are do a lot of work, and
then some more work, and then some more. There's your 5 ways.
Yeah.
I want to cutting 2 hours off of my Ironman time. That would be that would be like a record.
Yeah, that would be okay. Yeah.
Well, it all depends on where you start from. It all depends on where you start from.
Exactly. All right.
I cut over 2 hours off from my first one.
That's good. See?
But I started low.
I spent 5 years and cut 20 minutes off mine. So.
Well, you probably started, I'm going to guess, at a faster place than I did.
My best one has been my first.
Yeah. Yeah, my first one was the best one just because it was the first one, but it was not the best time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like magic!
A little bit like magic.
There's diminishing returns the closer you get to the winner.
Yeah. That is for sure.
What I want to know is, behind Matt there are 2 photos. Yeah, which one?
Well, those are my cousins. Those are not me. Those are my cousins.
Oh.
They're gonna be very, very. I have a lot of cousins they're not that special. They're pretty special. They're great people. But we have a lot. I have like 40 some cousins. If you can tell, I'm from a Notre Dame. I'm from an Irish Catholic family, so there's a lot of us. The term reproducing like rabbits would be very fit for our family. So we got lots of fam.
It's all about the process, Matt.
It's all. On that note,
next episode, we're going to get Matt's parents on, and we're going to talk about the process.
It's the process, yeah. I'm going to just like, I'm just going to try. I'm going to curl up and die during that episode. So, the process.
So
Dr. Dave, Dr. Sheila.
So tell me about the night I was conceived.
No, that's okay. All right. 2016, here we come.
Yes,
this has
here
been
we come.
episode 7 of Yanking Chains. So, guys, we'll do this again in 2 weeks in 2016.
Yes.
And
Happy New Year.
This is probably, we're going to get this out on new forms of media in 2016. So more than 1 million people can just view this. We can get to the multi-million.
We're going global.
I want to be as big as Gangnam Style.
We got this. That's our goal. That should be a goal for 2016.
We got this.
Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. I think even in 2016 we're gonna have to work on some kind of like music.
All right.
You know.
All right.
I gotta do some or this.
All right. Well, we're at our theme song. All right.
I'm very good.
2 weeks from now, we've gone way over time. This has been a lot of fun, guys.
Yep.
It's been a lot of fun. All right.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Happy New Year. See you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.